You're on.
Good morning, Panther Nation. My name is Mrs. Habe, and I am the College and Career Specialist here at Medina Valley High School.
And I am Mrs. McElroy. I am the lead counselor and the junior and senior counselor.
This morning, our topic with Coffee with the Counseling Center is going to be on FAFSA. FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. We're going to try to dispel some of the myths, and we'll be taking your questions after our presentation is finished.
The first question I have for Ms. Habe is, my parents make too much money, so I'm not going to qualify for federal aid. Should I still apply for the FAFSA?
The answer to that question is yes. You should absolutely apply or fill out your FAFSA and have it submitted to the colleges in which you are planning to apply. The reason I say yes is FAFSA is now, as far as the colleges look at it for financial aid, sort of that catch-22. They're looking, when you submit your FAFSA, to see if you actually do qualify for financial aid or that you don't meet the requirements for federal aid. If you don't meet the requirements for federal aid, you then can be looked at for state aid and even aid that is located directly just through the university, as far as grants and scholarships, that type of thing. There's also several local scholarships that will ask you for your information from your FAFSA to see if you are qualifying for federal aid or to see if you're not qualifying for federal aid.
Is it also true that only students with good grades qualify for financial aid?
The question to that is no. It's not just students with good grades. Remember, the federal aid portion of FAFSA is looking to see if you qualify by income. Of course, there's going to be some requirements at the college and the universities that will look to see what your grades are and that you're meeting qualifications for admissions. But for federal aid, they are basically looking through to see if you've qualified through your financial need. But remember, state aid and local aid are going to be looking at your grades because a lot of those are based on academics.
Is it true that my ethnicity or age play a factor in my eligibility for federal student aid?
That is absolutely not true. You shouldn't allow any of that information to be considered that you wouldn't put the information. It can be used at some point to actually give you additional aid, but it would not ever be used to keep you or prevent you from getting aid. So there are some questions about ethnicity, race, age, those type of things. Remember, that information is there to help you or to make sure that you're getting all of the qualified aid that you qualify for.
I support myself, and my parents do not contribute to my financial situation. So therefore, do I have to include any of my parent information on the FAFSA?
As a student here at Medina Valley, they are absolutely going to be asking you for your information from your parents. The reason that even if you work a 40-hour week and you basically are financially take care of most of your needs, they're going to want to know about housing and other information that your parents would have to take care of. That is still sort of a sticky question. Unless you are actually an emancipated minor through the courts, you would actually have to have parental information. There may be some special circumstances, and the best person to ask would be the financial aid officers at the college in which you're applying. But yes, most probably you are going to need parental information.
Okay. So what do I need to get started with the FAFSA?
I'm so glad you asked. The first thing that you and your parent need is that you will need a FAFSA ID. Both the student and the parent must have FAFSA IDs. They have to be separate, and you'll use those to sign your your FAFSA application at the end. You can apply for a FAFSA ID at this website located right here. It's very easy. You're going to need information like your driver's license, your social security number, a working email, and this year FAFSA has actually added a working telephone number so that if you forget your FAFSA ID, that you can retrieve it easily before you sign your FAFSA application.
Is it difficult to fill out the FAFSA form online?
They have made it extremely easy to fill out the FAFSA application online, there's actually drop-down boxes that will actually help you answer information or answer the questions that you may have, help you locate that information on your W-2 or on your tax return forms. There's also a chat box, and there's also a telephone number, and actually someone answers the telephone when you call. So it is extremely easy. Another tool that I'd like to talk about on the FAFSA is that they've re-implemented what they call the IRS data retrieval tool. It makes it super easy, and it connects your information from the IRS to the FAFSA. It's not a two-way pipeline. The information from FAFSA is not given back to the IRS. Only the information from IRS comes into the FAFSA. It also, if you use the data retrieval tool, it's less likely that if you are qualifying for federal aid that you'll have to submit additional documentation. So it helps alleviate that further on when you're visiting with your financial aid officer at your college.
How or when do I find out I am eligible for financial aid?
You find out almost immediately your EFC. The EFC is the expected family contribution. That doesn't change depending on whether you're going to a college or university, and it doesn't matter which university or which college. That EFC is the expected family contribution, stays the same. The higher that number is, the less likely that you've qualified for federal aid. But remember, there's also state aid and local aid that the college will be looking at.
And how many schools can I send my information to?
You can send it to up to 10 schools. So if we have any questions, this will be the time. Wait a few more minutes. Remember that tomorrow evening, the financial aid officers from Southwest Texas Junior College will be here in the Counseling Center to help you submit your FAFSA or to answer any specific questions. They'll be here from 3:30 in the afternoon till 6 o'clock. So if you have questions, bring your information. They would need your tax return, your W-2 forms, and any other financial documents that you may need in order to submit the information.
Okay, thank you for joining Coffee with the Counseling Center. Hope to see you next time.